we're going to be looking at the names of the notes on string 1. So Mel Bay starts us off with exploring along string 1. He's not going to have us play the notes all the way up string 1 in a piece quite yet, but right now we should be familiar with the way string 1 works. So it's time for a note review of notes in the key of C. They are going to be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. In book 1 we learned how to play them here in first position. As we go along our journey, please do make sure that your thumb is flat and relaxed behind the guitar's neck. It can be here, it can be here, it can be here depending on the song. You don't want it here, you don't want it to collapse here with a collapsed wrist sideways, and we don't want a pointy thumb here, right? We don't want to be pushing the guitar neck with the tip of our thumb. This is so common. I see it all the time. Some people feel it's the only way they can learn how to play certain chords. Not true. And we do want to maintain a slight angle with the guitar neck, slightly. We don't want it totally level with the ground. It's not realistic. And we want it at a slight angle. So get comfortable and let's play the notes on the first string only. Mel Bay's Modern Method, smaller book, page 1. String 1 open. E, string 1 fret 1, pinch. F, string 1 fret 3, third finger please. G. Now we're going to shift position and put the first finger of the left hand here on string 1 fret 5. Now we are in fifth position and we're able to play the notes A, B, and C very comfortably. A, first finger, B, third finger, and C, pinky. Right. And finally, we're going to finish up this octave by going to string 1 fret 10 D. That's going to be 2 ledger lines above the staff, and then we have E, 3 ledger lines above the staff with the third finger please, and F. Right, we have just above 3 ledger lines above the staff with the pinky. So open 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13. Let's make a practice of going backwards, although he didn't tell us to. It's going to be 13, 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1, open. I'm going to be teaching one page at a time. It's going to be the easiest way for us to stay together in the book. Now my page of the book here is page 3, and now we're going to play the scale of C major 2 octaves. This is a review of what we learned toward the end of book 1. Scale of C major, open position 2 octaves, okay? We have string 5 fret 3 C, string 4 open D, E, F, string 3 open G to an A, string 2 open B to a C and a D, string 1 is open E to F to G. Now Mr. Bay asks us to shift position and complete the next octave of that scale, and we're going to be playing fret 5A, 7B, and 8C. I'm going to play it for you in evenly timed quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Descend. If you find those position shifts a little difficult, that's okay. Just continue practicing that, ascending and descending. Now in this page next we have a rhythm review. This is going to be the scale we just played, except broken up in different rhythms. In the rhythms with the quarter notes, you're going to notice it's always 4 quarter notes, such as the first measure, the third measure, the fifth measure, the sixth measure, the seventh measure. Now there's something interesting I want to tell you about this. When we highlight those quarter note tones, we're highlighting the chord tones. So what we're actually playing when we play those measures with the quarter notes are do, mi, sol, by simply playing every other measure there, we're outlining a C major 7 chord. And that's why it's nice to work through this book with another person. Like bring these things alive. Okay, so that's going to be line 1, measures 1, 3, 5, and 7. Line 2, we're just going to do the same thing except up an octave. So line 2, we're going to be playing line 2, measure 1, line 2, measure 3, line 2, measure 5, line 2, measure 7, line 2, measure 7, B, 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 B. Resolve to C. Now in those measures with half notes, let's look what they are. They're going to be the non-chord tones. Okay? So we're breaking the C major scale down into chord tones. That's beginning your life as an improvisational guitar. Just knowing your chord tones. In the C chord, you have C, E, G, and the B note to make a C major 7th. Right. So now we're going to play the non-chord tones, which are featured in measures 2, 4, 6, and line 2, measure 2, 4, and 6. Here are those notes as half notes, right? So it's going to be F, A. Now we have our C natural note right there at the last measure of line 1. Moving on, line 2, measure 2, line 2, measure 4, line 2, measure 6, line 2, measure 8, unison octave. Well, by playing the measures with just the half notes, you're outlining a D minor 7 chord. That's right. You can actually get your start in some improvisational methods here with old Mel Bay when we work with a teacher. So there in those first 2 lines with the half notes, you're outlining the D minor 7th chord. DFA. C. That C note, you see, is common to both the first chord, the C major 7, and the second chord, the D minor 7. The C chord is the flat 7th tone of the D minor 7 chord. Don't worry about all this stuff. I just want you to know we have a couple of chords here that share a note. That's it. Just want you to start seeing and hearing this as you play through the major scale, that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Well, different chords inside that key, they all grab those notes in one way or another. And so how you hear that and what you like in that means you're going to be playing melodic intervals, one note after another, and you'll have your favorites. Personally, I love this DFAC. It's kind of a... Pretty cool, right? Hey, let's play the exercise 1. A rhythm review, exercise 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 2. So much to be gained in private lessons using Mel Bay when you want to look at it and try to have a little fun with it. Let's play the second exercise. It's going to be largely the same, but please beware of the time signature, or the time signature is the same. beware of the rhythmic dictation here. So each measure here is going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and that's the first measure. The second measure is 1, 2, and 3, ring on 4. Okay, third measure, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and now measure 4 is the same as measure 2. 1, 2, and 3, ring on 4. Yeah, that's going to be consistent through the whole thing, and now we're going to be playing one note a measure. So here we go. Exercise 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, ring 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, ring 4. Alternate pick. Watch that shift. Exercise 3. Okay, we're gonna be playing down pick and a down pick and an up pick. We're using an item here called a dotted quarter. Go on back and review book 1 if you're not sure about the dotted quarter. Dotted quarter is worth a beat and a half, so we're going to be counting it 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Here we go. Right, we're just playing the scale as usual. Watch that shift up here to the 5th position. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Alternate pick. Line 2. And finally, we're going to play the accompaniment for the above exercises. If you have a looper pedal, now's the time to break it out so you can play along with your looping in these exercises. We're going to be playing the C chord, the G7, the C, the F, the C, the D7, the G7. Follow along. Now, if you don't have the book, don't continue in the series. You need the book, Mel Bay's Modern Method Book 2. Okay. Bottom of the page, first page of our studies, and we have accompaniment for the above exercises. I'm just going to do kind of a swing here. Charleston, Charleston. Notice the F here I did was this big bar, but I'm fairly certain in this book they want us to play the little f. We've got a C chord. If you don't know these chord grips, go on back please to book 1. The C chord, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. The G7 chord, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1. G, B, D, G, B, F. Right? The C chord, now the F chord, F, A, C, F. The D7 chord, D, A, C, F sharp. We're in the Mel Bay series here. We're in the Mel Bay series. We should be saying the names of our notes, shouldn't we? I'm going to do a little more of a full strum here using a down, down, up, down, up. We're going to play the same exercise. Jam along. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's a little trick I want to show you here. Why are we playing a D7 chord in a tune in the key of C? It's not in the key of C. It's not one of the three primary chords of the key of C he taught us, is it? So the D7 chord is a substitute, and it's called the 2 chord. And we're simply using a D7 chord in place of just another round of the C chord, and it creates a cadence called a 2-5-1. It just adds a little bit of color. So instead of going C chord, G7, C. Now for the second C chord, we're going to substitute a D7, so you can do this in any key. What is the root chord of your key? C. Go to the next chord, D. D what? Well, we're going to make it a 7th chord, so D7. And you play that before you hit the 5 chord, the G7. So pretty popular sound, a D7, G7, C. On a sunny afternoon. Yeah, it's got that sound. It's fun, isn't it? So 1 week, if this is new to you, you're going to do that for a week. Be able to get the musicality out and flowing from that. Of course, move on if you can faster, fine, but don't rush. Be sure you can pick and play these items cleanly, clearly. See you soon.